Wow. What an insane couple of weeks that I'm having. It's unbelievable. I've been putting in the work, though. I've been putting in 17 hours a day at work and in the stock market. That's why I haven't been around to shoot my page. I'm about to have a few weeks off, so that's all about to change, which is great. I can't wait to get back to it. I've missed you guys. Make sure that on this video you like it. Make sure that you comment anything that you want me to review. But I've tripled my portfolio in the matter of days. I've made $15,000 at work, and I'm completely out of the financial hole that I found myself in after COVID. I was living on bare bones, bare minimal, worried about having to move back in with my parents after going from hundreds of thousands of dollars to literally nothing, worried about paying rent, and that's when I started the page. This entire time that I've had this page, I've been worried about going broke. And I'm not talking about not enough money to buy a house. I'm talking about not enough money to pay rent, and I don't have anybody backing me up or helping me. So if I'm out, I'm shit out of luck. I'm moving back with my parents. At least I have that. But now I'm completely out of the hole, and I'm right on track to get to 25,000 by the end of this month, and I think I'm going to do it. In fact, I know I'm going to do it because I got the mindset. I haven't came out of this hole by making it in one trade. I haven't been catching 350% runners, 400% runners like you see every day and think that's normal. No, it's been strategy. It's been taking my time, not over trading, picking my spots, buying on resistance breaks, buying on supports, selling when I have a gain, not worried about, is it going to go higher? It doesn't matter. I'm making money day in, day out, and it doesn't have to be on one big trade. That's what a lot of new investors think the market is. You get in one thing, you shoot up at 10,000%. They want money overnight. It doesn't work like that. It's inch by inch by inch. This is a game of inches, and believe it, it is a game. You have to be the player that wins. There is going to be somebody that's smarter that's going to take your money and going to take advantage of you if you're not smart about what you're doing. If you get sucked into one stock and marry it, you will have to go through fluctuations in your account. My goal is to make money every day. I don't care if it's 20 bucks, 40 bucks, 100 bucks, 200 bucks, or 200,000 bucks. It doesn't matter. As long as I'm green, I'm good. Okay, so keep that mindset, stick to a strategy, have discipline, and when gains are there, for the love of God, take them and stop being greedy. Because I've been greedy for the first 7 years of my trading career, and it's got me nowhere. Yeah, it got me somewhere in 2020 when it was just a fluke and the money printers were going brrr. Yeah, sure, when everybody was putting their money into AMC and all these random stocks because, memes, and everybody has all this money from the government that they have extra cash to put into the market that's pushing the prices and artificially inflating the bid. Fine, that time is over. We're in a bear market. Don't let them tell you we're headed for a recession. We've been in one. And our rate of inflation is through the roof. So, that's my rant for the day. But my main point to pull away from this is, for the love of God, stop. If you're new to trading, you're not going to listen to me. You're going to have to live through this, and you're going to have to experience it yourself. And eventually, if you keep going and don't quit, you'll come out on the other side like I did. No one went broke taking gains. If the price goes up after you sell, fine. There's 19,000 other stocks out there that are moving every day. For example, I sold NVOS a couple days ago at 17. Why? Because I wasn't like this. NVOS, it's the best stock I ever went. Oh my God, I got to make $1 million on this stock, and only this stock, and it has to go up. Oh my God, oh my God. No. I took my money out because I was up 30%. I knew SMX. I already had it on my radar. I was watching. I was waiting. Boom, hits above $1. Okay, hold on. Don't chase. Wait for pullback. Pulls back to 96.5, low of the day. Boom, hit it with a bunch of money. Next day, I'm selling for 100% profit. And if I would have sat in NVOS with the same amount of money, I would have made 10%. So instead of making $400, I made over $4,000. Understand? That's what separates a trader, a pro, from somebody that's just throwing money at a wall, gambling, degenerate, trying to make $1 million overnight. because they go to the boards and they just want to feel good. They want to be part of a community. Let me be the first one to tell you, the market is not your friend. The people online that have their own agendas and their own wants, needs, and goals, they don't care about your account. They only care about what happens in theirs. Let me tell you without a shadow of a doubt, how many stocks have they said, who's going to throw the boat party when everybody becomes a millionaire? How many times has that party happened? Never. Never. So figure out your strategy. I don't give a shit if it's going long for 20 years. I don't care if it's shorting the market into oblivion. I don't care if it's swing trading, whatever. I don't recommend going extremely long on penny stocks because the percentage chances of you actually hitting something hard and it staying up are monumentally low. So, but do you pick your strategy and stick to it? But remember, take gains when they're available. I'm going to beat it into your head if it's the only thing I talk about on this show, because nobody else is going to tell you to do it. Everybody on YouTube is just going to say, this is the next Amazon, this is the next Pier 1 Imports, this is the next Monster Energy, and that's it. That's all they're going to say. And then when the stock tanks, they're going to go away, and all your friends from the community disappear into the moonlight. And you'll be the last one to shut the lights off and say nighty-night. So, if you see me on the boards and I'm bearish, don't get mad. See the other side of it. Don't just go to the boards to feel good. I don't block bears if I'm long. I might argue with them, but I don't block them because they might be right. Believe it or not, you're not always right, okay? And I know a lot of you new traders think that you're a natural and you just started and you might have got a few wins under your belt and you got a big head. And maybe you haven't been slapped around and beaten to the ground and beaten to a pulp and wanted to give up. But you will. What, do you think that you're different from everybody else? 99% of traders go under and never recover, okay? So you think that you're just a fluke anomaly? No, you're not. You will go through the ringer, okay? And I have been for a while now. But now I'm trading correctly how I know how to trade because I have financial stability. So I don't have to be crazy over trading and going all in. And what has happened? 200% in my portfolio in a matter of days. Now, once I get some more money flow from work, once I get paid from work, and after I hit a few wins, I'm going to be day trade. I can day trade. Then the game's over. Because if I can get in a stock and get out in minutes because it's failing, instead of watching my shit tank 30% because I can't sell because I'll be limited to a cash account, you better, this page is going to be lit. Because I'm going to have 16 stocks that I'm in. I'm going to be going nuts. I'm going to be going nuts and I'm going to be making money. And that's exactly what I'm doing now because I'm not rushing shit and I'm not looking for the moon. I'm looking for the space in between. So let's jump into the charts here. We're going to start with TSOI. 3 things that I loaded. I got out of SMX. I got out of MVOS. Not because I didn't think that they're going to go higher. They very well might be. No problem. I'm not risking being up 30% and going for that extra 30% only to find myself back to even because I don't have time to waste. I'm trying to move strictly in one direction. All right, I guess that's fine, huh? It's going to have to be. All right, so we're going to start with TSOI. This is one that I loaded today at 2. It doesn't have any hype around it. Doesn't have the board going nuts like, oh my God, this is the next best thing. But it's too low. It's oversold. And I like oversold. You got to look at certain things. Don't always try and catch the bullish momentum because it might be the top. And if you do get in at the top, you're in trouble. So, you know, unless you can cut it quick, you're in trouble. So I wanted one thing in my portfolio. I've been setting up a strategy every night. I wanted one thing in my portfolio today that was a bottom feeding situation with a chance to get back to the middle band, because I've noticed when I went over my entire watch list, a lot of these stocks have been doing that. They're overbeaten underneath the yellow orange band, and then boom, they'll have a day resurrected to it, and then whatever happens after that happens after that. But here I got in at 2 for 2 million shares because I feel like the volume was. It was going through 2. There was a lot of bid smacking. That's how I was able to get shares. But I got them, and by the end of the day, I know that it was a long trading day. By the end of the day, you had a 2 bid that was pretty solid, 3 point some million shares. 1 was cleared out, 2-1, and 2-2 was up on the asking thin. That sets me up for a very good day tomorrow. Could they release news pre-market? Very possible. Boom, I'll be out in the first half hour at 2.8. Could it just trickle up over the next couple of days? That's what I'm looking for. You plant something at bottom that might not be exciting, but you sit it there. You sit on something that you know isn't super volatile, so you're not going to lose a crap ton of money. You can always get out for 1 tick underneath the ask or whatever, on 1 tick underneath your buy-in. But you're going for the middle band here, 28. That's what I like. That's why I bought it too. I'm in heavy for $4,000, looking to just make it 46, 48, or 5. I'm not looking to turn it into $20,000. Why? Because I take out the 4,800, the 5,000, and all of a sudden, now I have enough money for 2 different stocks with 2,500. And that's how you diversify your portfolio and keep it moving. But I like T-Soy right now. I like it at 2, and I think that it's going to have a good ROI by the end of this week, if not sooner. Veng. Vengo contigo, vengo contigo, vengo contigo, vengo contigo. This one has been making me money every day. And now this was another one that I was in at 196, sold in the 2s, didn't make much money off that, then bought back at 217, took it to 260, sold at 260, waited to see what happened today, realized that it did show signs of strength, got back in at 260. Notice that you don't have to just hold. You don't just have to hold it on top. You don't have to hodl for deal life. You don't have to have diamond hands, even though that's what everybody's going to tell you. You don't have to do that. You can sell and get back in, believe it or not. Even if it's a couple ticks higher if you see strength. Fine. But make sure, seal the gain and then reassess. Is it still strong? Is the RSI too hot? Am I above or below the middle band? Is there enough hype? Is there too many bullish comments? Is there too much high sentiment on the boards? Is it too... These are all things you need to consider, but you don't want to be sitting there in a position with the price going like this, asking all these questions. You want to stay calm. You want to get out, seal your gain, reassess, and make a decision. Am I going to go with something else, or am I going to go back to this? That's up to you. Back in Vang, 260, you get it, you're right here. You're right here at the top of this wick. You break through to, you have a good day tomorrow, you're headed straight to 4. You're headed straight to 4 from 260. That'll be where I take my first amount of gains. I don't know if I'm going to trade around a core. If it closes anywhere near 4, I might sell 4. And if it closes at 4 or above 4, I might even go in again. Okay? But I'm going to seal my gain at 4, or if I see the price weakening, then I'll take a loss or whatever. But I'm not going to sit on dead money in a bag. I like Vang. I like it for a break at 260, and an off chance you get good news, they might send it straight to 10. ENZC, this is one of my favorite picks. I told you people last night, keep an eye on 10. Pay attention to my Twitter. If I'm not making videos, Twitter is probably the best way to see what I'm doing live and actively. I've been tracking this one since back here. I actually started tracking it here, pulled back, and then it just went. This was a shakeout, and then they sent it on a lot of people. But God, this thing is sexual. Now, when in doubt, zoom out. If you can zoom, this might look overbought here, but if you actually zoom out, this stock ran to 90 cents back in the day. I remember it very vividly. and then it came back down, and it's consolidated this range for a very long time. Now, it's broken out of that range at this point, and I fully expect 13 cents tomorrow. I don't know where it's going to go from there. That's my first target. It could keep running from there. In fact, it might be on a blue sky breakout, but I just think, again, take it at 13, wait for the lunch dip, see if I want to re-enter, reassess, figure out what I'm doing, and then make a decision. But I'll tell you what, I like the fact that I bought the 10 break. Why did I break the 10 break or buy the 10 break? Because that's where it previously hit. That's where it pulled back from. Now you get a strong bullish candle above that. Now you don't want to stay in this wedge. I'm telling you, I could tell by the volume, millions and millions of shares bought right around 10. Somebody knows something, or they just know that this stock is just, it's ready to go. And if it goes anywhere towards a near flag, if I could have pull up a bigger chart, it would look better. But if it's kind of like a peak, it's a peak, and it's come back down, and now it's starting to go up again. If it creates a triangle or a flag, it's looking at about 60 to 70 cents. You're currently at 11. Now, again, you don't have to get there with holding the whole way there. Flip it on the way up. If you don't feel comfortable, trade around a core. You got, let's say, 1 million shares, trade around 250. Keep 250 long and trade 750,000, what have you. I like ENZC. I like the fact that I bought it at 10 on the break, and I see it going to 13 tomorrow with almost no question. That's all I can scope. I can't plan out how it's going to get to 60 or 70. All I can plan out is what's going to happen tomorrow. Moan. Look, okay, let me give you the good side of it. Now, I don't know. This isn't a chart from post-reverse split, or is it? Yes, it is. It just changes the price. It's a very odd. Moan, look, a lot of new traders in Moan and a lot of bag holders from the past year. If you're new to the stock, just know this. Yes, there's a lot of eyes, and yes, there's a lot of interest. These are good things. Yes, it hasn't sold off tremendously after the reverse split. That's not a bad thing. It's kind of trading stable here. Not a bad thing. You got it. One of two things are going to happen here, and that's it. They're either going to dilute your bones to dust after the reverse split. They're just going to max out the AS again, balloon it again, and redo it all over again until their company becomes successful, because they don't give a crap about you. They don't care about the common shareholder, whether you want to believe it or not. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. All they care about is the money that you're putting into their company so that they can make it bigger. Period. Period. They're not going to come out and tell you that they've been diluting nonstop. This is a penny stock at this point. They don't need to file crap for dilution, even though I'm pretty sure it's very vivid in their financial statements. People just don't want to read those. They just want to read the boards and get sucked into the hype. They don't want to do the actual work. They, again, just want to feel like a part of a community. And that's what Moan seems to be. It seems to be a cult stock, which can work in your favor once you get the volume. But you're going to have to get off this plane. And they're going to have to stop diluting for a little bit of time. They have to turn off the faucet, or you're not going to make money. If you're a new trader, it doesn't matter what product they have. I don't care if they have the newest battery that lasts for or it charges in 1 second and drives for 1,000,000 miles. I don't care. What I care about is the fact that it's a growing company that's revenue strapped, cash strapped, and they need to dilute, and they have a lot of dilution to be done. That's what you should be focused on. Now, I know all the little dingle holders on Twitter and StockTwits aren't going to tell you these things, and maybe you've already turned off the video because you want to have your little ding coddled. Maybe you want to have your little butt padded. Maybe you want to have your little head padded, okay? But this is the market, okay? If you want to do that, go to a therapist. and waste your money there. This is the market. This is a battle. This is why men tend to do this, because it's a man's job. Now, that doesn't mean that women can't do it. In fact, a lot of my women subscribers are actually better because but it's an emotional thing. So if you're an emotional person, like me, I'm more emotional than most women in a way. But I know to control my emotions while trading. If you don't know that, that's when ends up in trouble. So, so what I want to say is women can trade too, but you have to have a lot of balls. You have to have a really thick skin. You have to be able to battle through adversity, and women can do that too, but that's why 99% of traders are men, because it's a very, very draining job. Okay, it's a lot of work. I don't know why I'm talking about this on Moan. Maybe somebody needs to hear it. But what you really need to know about Moan is they're a dilutive ATM for private equity and the advancement of their own company. They do not like you. And that pumper harge is come on, guys. Come on, man. Like, if you're new, you'll learn. I feel like most people in there are just bag holding like crazy. So they're going to act like everything's all good when in reality, they know. Most people, if you're worth your salt in the market, you know that there's an issue going on, okay? They said they weren't going to reverse, but they did. It keeps going on and on and on. Now, NVOS is another one that I sold at 17. It's currently at 19. Oh, my God. I missed out on the moon. Oh, no. Bury me alive. I'm never going to recover. This is the end of the world. Oh. God, you people are cold. It's insane. Okay, it's insane. You're acting insane. I literally went on the boards today, and all I said was, I took my gains here. Whatever I said, be careful here. It's a little bit extended. Your RSI is hot. Your MACD actually looks pretty good. You have steady volume. Honestly, the chart looks great. It's forming a W. You have a gap up here at 60. You have the news that might come out. You have potential good root revenues that might come out. But you also have a lingering RS that they might need to get back to $1. You only have a month to get back to $1. If they can't do that organically, they're going to have to reverse split. You get any news of reverse split, you get any type of shaky stuff that they're going to want to put out a reverse split. Remember, the time's ticking. Then you're in trouble, okay? So you can't just think, well, everybody says that it's going to go up, so it is, and there's no way that they'll ever reverse split. How do you know? You're speculating just like the bears. It's all speculation. You don't know. It might look good today and horrible tomorrow. And Tuesdays are usually bad in the market, especially for low trading stocks. So do as you please. Hold it as long as you want. But there will, and I guarantee there will, be pullbacks along the way. Now you're coming to a level of resistance right here that seems to be very, very tough. First of all, the bottom of your resistance is right where you're at. The top of your resistance, if you break through that, you're looking at 23 cents. So still not that high. If you break through that, then you might be going a little bit. You might be breaking out completely. Fine. But there's a very strong chance. You've had a lot of good days now. That if you don't start to take gains, I don't know if it's now. I don't know if it's at 23. I don't know if it's at 28. I don't know if it's at 30. I don't know if it's 35. But if you don't get in that mindset of saying, okay, I am willing to sell for a gain, you could very easily be sitting in a stock up $9,000, just as an example, and it goes all the way. And if you would have just sold, instead of listening to the peanut gallery and all the noise on the boards, then you could have bought $9,000 more worth of stock if you love it so much. But you do you. If I get attacked on the board, you best believe I'm going to bash you to living hell. Because that's just who I am. I'm the Gordon Ramsay of the stock market. I'm going to scream at you. Get over yourself. This isn't a safe space. Blocking everybody that has a different opinion than you. What are you, 8? Clowns, dude. Why is Bed Bath & Beyond not up here? It should be change percentage. Where is it? Whatever, can't find it. SMX. This is the one that I sold today. This is the one I sold in NVOS4 and it ran 100% and I dumped. Because I'm not leaving that type of gain on the table overnight. Now, this could easily keep going. I really like all your technicals, so you're not overbought on anything. What I'm going to set my alert at and how I'll know that there's continuation probably going to happen is 242. That's where it hit today. That was the high of the day. That's where your resistance is at. If you can get above that, you might be looking at a gap fill at 651. Now, I might even set my alert at 242, but wait for confirmation at $3 before I buy. Why? Because, well, let's see where this is. 336 is the top of this wick, but I think honestly your real resistance is around 250. So if I see it, if I know that the gap's at $6, right, and I see it breaking $3, that's confirming that it's over resistance. Chances are, if it's closing anywhere near that $3 mark, you might be right on your way to $6. So I'll gladly buy $3 instead of buying in this realm and wondering, is it going to go up or is it going to go down? Now, I could do one or two things. I can either buy the break of 3 or I could buy the pullback to 138, whatever comes first. It doesn't matter to me because I'm completely out of the stock. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to go crazy over it. I set my alerts at 140 and I set my alerts at 250. And whatever comes first, whether that's tomorrow or in a week's time, eventually that alert will go off. And if I have cash or if I have a stock that I could sell for cash and I want to do so, then I can. But all I know is my 100% gain is sealed. And if it does come back down to 140, then I don't lose it. JAGX. Been watching this one. Keep an eye on this one. Also, stay hydrated, as always. Water's so good. It's the nicest flavor. JAGX. I mean, you can't really see much here, but this thing is... It's getting hot. It's getting hot. I wanted to buy today at 70 break, but maybe I should have. I'm looking at my first resistance here. Wow, this thing looks good. Bollinger Bands are extremely pinched. You're getting into the hot, you're right peeking into the hot zone on your RSI. Your MACD is not overbought. Your volume is pretty steady. Had a good volume day yesterday and today. Trading pretty cleanly. Not seeing a lot of dilution. Not seeing a lot of pullbacks on any type of pushes. This could be bottom for JAGX. Keep an eye and keep a close one. Try to buy on a pullback. Or if they gap it up at pre-market on news, try and go for the gap fill. ZVSA. This one's also looking pretty good. Broke above 60 today, which was a very important resistance to break. RSI is very low and curling back up. MACD is very low and curling back up. Strong volume, big sell-off after the offering, which the offering is closed currently at $1. You're currently at 60 cents. I do see this going to at least 118, maybe to fill the gap up at like 130. This could very easily break out in one day. Got to keep my eyes on this. I might even take some at 60. If it holds 60, I like it. Imp, out of nowhere. I said that oil was going to start to get hot, shook a lot of people out of this one, went through a reverse split, which could be a good thing in the long run if the company is ready to stop diluting and actually start going for the gold and getting the price up. You had this push, this being seen. That would be a good time to buy, seeing this push. Then you had a huge volume day today. $30 million in cash in and out of this and out of this stock trading throughout the day. You're over the middle band. You're pushing. Look, You get, after the adjusted reverse split, you get above 350, you set your alert, okay? You set your alert for 350. It's been a quad top almost at this point. You break through that, you could be going. Now it might pull back a little bit before it does that. But again, you set your alert at 350. It could happen tomorrow. If it does happen tomorrow, you're probably ready to smoke north. But remember, wait for confirmation. Wait for confirmation. If it hits it in the morning, wait for it to pull back. If it pulls back below it, does it break it again with volume? If it keeps breaking that 350, you might be good to go, especially if you're buying near the end of the day. CVNA, recent pop. Market's kind of been pushing for a couple days now, which is great. Money's been there to be made. I do see pullbacks coming in on a lot of stocks very soon. That's why I'm trying to maybe shift a little bit over to bottom feeders instead of going for ones that are up, because they're going to have pullbacks eventually, and Tuesdays are usually pretty tough. Carvana was actually beaten to a pulp, and then boom, you gapped above the middle band. Now you're closing strong above it. This thing looks like it's ready to go. You closed at the high of the day. I'm not sure exactly what it did after hours. But Carvana is here, and it's here to stay. I mean, it's been pushing, and it's a very tradable stock. I'm not saying that they're going to be the biggest car company in the world, but I'm just saying that you could easily get in these at their lows and get out at their highs. You buy low, you sell high. You continue to do that over and over and over again. You find the channels where they're at, and you trade them accordingly. Carvana is breaking out here, and I do like the look of the technicals. You're not overbought on really anything, and it seems like the interest is coming back. I like Carvana. GDVM. I'm not exactly sure what's going on the fundamental side of this, but technically speaking, you are at the middle Bollinger Band, which does look good. It has a lot of eyes on this one. There's a lot of people interested in this stock, which is great. If this computer wants to work, that would be even ding ding bang 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 dang dang. I just want to get this over with. I just want to go home, and I just want to sleep because I'm just so overworked, and tonight is my last night of work, and I just want to go home and be done. But here I am. I'm making videos. I'm pressing through, and I'm not half-assing a damn thing because I don't know how to do that. It's not within my bloodline. It's not within my work ethic. I can't just simply chill. Now, this is coming back to this middle band, and your technicals are not overbought. You're encroaching on the hot zone on your RSI. Everything is turned up. MACD looks good. You know, your volume isn't necessarily massive at the moment, but it doesn't seem like you need it because they're not currently diluting. You get above this middle band, you're in good shape. I've been telling you guys since it pulled back underneath the band. It was oversold, bound down at 3. You're almost at 100% gain over a 4-day hold, 4-day trade, 4 trading days. Now, you get above this band, you break out of this downtrend, you start to maybe press up. I don't know. There's going to have to be some further developments. There's going to have to be some type of adjusted pipeline with whatever news might come out in the near future. We're going to have to see what's going to happen with that. If you are in the stock currently, let me know what's in the pipeline. If there's anything due to be released, PR campaign coming out, what have you, because it does look good at the moment. But remember, you got to get above this middle band. Just kissing it isn't great. If I would have bought in at 3, I would have already sold at that middle band. And then reassessed. Is it breaking it? Is it still strong? Is there still interest? Is there still volume? Basically what I've been saying this entire video. But I do like GDVM. I think that there's enough of eyes on it that it has very good potential. VPLM. Now, this is one that I missed and I did not chase. Thank God. Because I wanted to chase it in the 9s and I didn't. And that was very smart because, you know, you just don't chase. Look, I wanted to buy it down here. It never filled this gap, and it just went. And it felt like crap. The entire day, I was just so ashamed of my life, and I was really, really sad. But now look, you're still in a ascending wedge, technically, okay? Your main point of resistance is going to be right around 10 cents. Then your next one is not going to be too much further at 11.5 cents. You break above that with volume, you could be on the way to the moon. But the catalyst here is in 45 days from the 1st. That puts us in mid-June, okay? The penny market is very fickle. If you don't go straight there, people are going to sell and move on to the next shiny object. How do you take advantage of that? You don't chase up here. You wait for it to form. You say, is it going to break through 11.3? If it does, fine. I'll buy a couple ticks higher. No big deal. Or is it going to come back to kiss this middle band? Or is it going to get oversold all the way down to 4 because it does trade very thin just on a flash crash right into 4 and then close above the middle band? Now, what I'm going to do in preparation for that to happen is I'm going to set my alerts. And remember, you should be doing the same thing. I'm setting my alerts at 11 cents. And I'm setting my alerts at 4, 5, 4, maybe 5. Because it might happen really quick. And if it hits 5, then it's on my radar. Then I start watching it. I get some cash available, and I set it right there on the bid at 4-1, 4-2, just to make sure I get shares. Because at that point, it's going to be oversold. Then I take that position, whatever lot I buy, however much money I have, and I hold it into those 45 days. Because eventually, it's going to go a lot higher than where it currently is, in my opinion. Now, if you just want to hold it, fine. You're not feel confident that you can trade and you can time the market, fine. I do think that this is going to be a very, very interesting stock over the next month, and it might even be sooner than we expect. So we'll see what happens here. I like 4 or I like 11. It's that simple. GTCH starting to get a little bit of a resurrection. Again, it looks a lot like TSOI to me. And look, this is reacting just how I expect TSOI to act. You had the pullback. I told you to soak up 5s. It's currently at 7. Those were the lows. Once it broke beneath this, I said you're oversold on trips. Your technicals are oversold. There's a lot of interest in this stock. You're probably going to at least get back to that middle band at 8. That's 50%. Fine, get out at that middle band at 8 or hold. Maybe it does come all the way up to this top band at 13. Maybe they come out with news that sends it there immediately tomorrow. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but if I was in the stock, I would have bought 5 like I said to. I would have waited, and then I would have been I would have my ask at 8. I would try and get out at 8 and then reassess. Hero. Another very cultish stock. Again, I don't care about any of these things. I don't get involved with them. I don't get sucked into them. I trade them like I don't even know. I don't care, dude. You shouldn't care either. But some people do, and that's fine. Everybody's got their own gig. So Hero looks great. It does. I mean, it looks good. Your volume what was your volume at today? 34 million. That's pretty strong. It's not, life-changing, but your technicals are hot. Now, you want to get above, you're going to be on a pretty solid breakout if you get above 3. You're currently at 2.3, so it's not that far away. You could take a gamble here, or you could wait for the resistance break at 3, somewhere in that area. Your middle band is pretty flat here, and you close kind of high above it. Even though the middle band is only at 19, I don't expect to pull back to that middle band right now. I actually expect this to get heated up, get going a little bit. You just need a continuation with volume. You need a stronger volume day tomorrow, let's say maybe 40, 50 million shares to push through the flippers, the one-day penny flippers, the one-tick flippers. You can do that. I like the brand. I do know a little bit about this company, and I do know that they actually have a product that is revenue producing. I just know that they dilute a lot to expand the company, which is fine. A lot of these newer companies, they really have no choice. That's kind of the name of the game, and that's why a lot of people lose money in penny stocks, because they don't know that. They just think, oh, this product looks really good. Why wouldn't this go up? Well, because debt. That's why. But Hero looks really, really good. I like it for a long-term play, especially for guys that aren't able to stare at the market all day. If you want to believe in a product that's trading really low, that has a very good potential of going higher over time, I would say Hero is one of those stocks. E-Tech has been kind of waking up recently. I don't know that this is on many people's radars, but maybe it will be now. Again, waiting for a pullback to get in. You're kind of at resistance here. You might get a little bit of a pullback or you might not. It's up 100% in the past couple of days. I would really like to see a pullback to around 5. I know that's a big pullback from here, but remember, it's a trip stock. It could happen at any time. But your volume is steadily increasing. It seems like a very thin stock. You're not necessarily tremendously overbought on your technicals. You break above the one region. It looks like you're going to head for, maybe even two. So try and get in on a dip here. It might not dip too harshly. Hopefully it just breaks out for you guys. Breaks out to two, but you have a potential downside for a buy at around five, trip five, and you have a potential buy through one to get to two. GNS. This one's looking pretty good. Bollinger Bands are tightening, getting closing above the middle band. All your technicals are encroaching on the upside, turning north, which look really good, but not overbought in any way, shape, or form. Your volume is currently at $4 million, which it is a dollar stock, so that's $4 million cash in and out. So it does have liquidity. You have been beaten down to a pulp. I do like this setup. You just got to get some push. You got to break out of this downtrend, which you're trying to do right now. It looks like it's starting to work. This might be one that I'm eyeing. You start to get a push above. Let's say I might set my alert at 140 or 110. Buying the middle band at 110, buying the breakout at 140. Do whatever you want, but that's how I'm able to see the market consistently, because I have some alerts set, and if I'm not paying attention, my phone will let me know. That's the brilliance of modern day technology. This is not something that was available to traders back in the day, and I bet you those traders waving the little tickets in the stock exchange, they would die to have what we have access to today, but we've just gotten lazier and lazier and lazier. So even with the access to all these different tools, we don't even use them. And it's sad. And that's why I tell myself every day, you have the power to do this. You got to put in the gosh darn work, or it ain't gonna happen. VDRM. When I've been eyeing, had alert set at 9.6, didn't get a chance to buy, went up to 12, which was somewhere around there, right? No, went all the way up to, almost 12. Would have been a great buy, 20%. Would have got out, fine. Didn't happen. Very light volume anyway, so wouldn't have been allowing for a lot of liquidity. Your volume's at 3 million. So, I mean, it's not like, it's still got enough. Now, what I think they're hunting for here is just a lack of news. So they're trying to pull it back down to this gap. I hate to say that, but your gap is looking at around 60 subs. You're currently at 9.3, so that's still a 25% haircut, but this thing moves on air. It's very thin. Your technicals kind of started to turn up, but they bounced back down. There's a lot of selling involved. I think that they just want to get this gap filled, so I will set my alert for 6.5. If it hits, then I know that if I'm buying 6, I will have a chance for a bounce on that gap fill. That's where I like to buy of VDRM. FCGD. Now, this one hit my radar tonight, going through my research, looking into a few different things, see what's climbing the ladder on iHub, which is one of my best indicators, and that's how I found... that's how I find a lot of things. I'm up in the middle of the night a lot at work, so I'm able to see... I gauge it. So I say, okay, this one's new. I haven't seen this one. This one's at 25 on the topmost red list. Then I look in the morning, and a couple hours later, and I say, okay, now it's number 23. Okay, now market's getting close to opening, and now it's at 14. So obviously, the interest is rising on that stock, and that might be a very subtle way of being able to gauge the sentiment of the market, because that's what traders do. I'm telling you, that's what I do on the boards all the time. Is I see if it's too bullish, too bearish. If it's too bullish, I don't buy it. If it's too bearish, I buy it. It's reverse psychology, okay? But a lot of people just want to be on the board that everybody's excited on. Yeah, you'll get burnt. You're going to get burnt a lot. Don't do that. So the reason why I like this one is because the increased volume. I think they acquired a big company. I don't know the fundamentals of it. All I know is this one is screaming north. You had good volume today, 250 million, which isn't a tremendous amount given that it is trading in trips. But if you zoom out on this, I'm looking at a first target buying on the low. Would be a 4, maybe just a little bit of an oversell to a 4. I don't know that 3s are available anymore. I think that you might have a few taps at 4 tomorrow, might break through 5, and you have a very good potential for a blue sky breakout, even to 1, 15, 2. It depends on what they come out with, but this one looks really good. OTC is getting volume right now. Might be the perfect mixture, the perfect storm. It's a gold affiliated stock. At least it has it in the name, which might be all you need, given the fact that gold is probably probably the most valuable asset at the moment. It is going to get eyes. It is going to get interest. And the chart is starting to break out. I like FCGD at 4 if you can get it. DPLS. One again that I did not chase. And then I looked at it and I said, you know what? I can't really read this one too well. Because when it came back down here, I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll go for this middle band, which was low 5s. It closed that Friday at 6. So I'm like, all right, if I get a sell-off in the morning, I set my alerts for 5.2. If it hits 5, I know that I'm in a pretty good spot, given the fact that it just came from over 1 cent a couple days ago, and there's a lot of people that like this stock, so they're going to average down, or it's going to keep volume. It didn't hit 5, which is fine. It didn't hit my target, so I missed it. It's not the end of the world. I'm not sitting here crying. And now it's starting to flag hard. Now you get out of this flag towards the upside. You start breaking above 1 again. I'm going to set my alarms for 1. If it breaks 1, I'll get back in, especially if it closes above 1. And that's probably it. If it breaks down below here, if it breaks down below this flag or below this, then it's kind of lost its spark and might be going dormant again. But I do not think that that's going to happen with this stock. I do think that one will come very shortly here. ATLX. Now here, let me show you. This is the best example I can give you of why thy must flip. Okay. This looked great. I told everybody to sell it. Okay, came back down, would have given you a good opportunity to enter anywhere in here. Now, what I would have done is I would have went away for a month, and I would have traded elsewhere. And I would have kept my targets right at 21. As soon as it broke 21, I would have bought again, and I would have caught this upwards trajectory. Now, I wouldn't have probably sold up here. I probably would have sold down here. That's fine. Can't always buy the bottom and can't always sell the top. And in fact, it's one of the most rare things to ever do. Now, people act like that can happen all the time, but you might have, it's only happened to me where I've bought the exact bottom or exact top maybe a couple times in my life, and I've traded thousands of stocks. You might be getting a flag here, but I just wanted you to see that, look, anything could happen at any time. Now, let's say you did sell here, and you did buy back here, and you were up 20 grand. Now what? Now what? Oh, you like the stock? Fine. You could have sold it and got a lot more shares. Know how to read a chart. Know when things are breaking down and when to get out. Know when to cut your 10% losses. Know when to take your 30% gains. Know that this is bound to happen in every single stock when you least expect it. Know that when the price was up here, people were talking about Lambos and vacation homes. And now they're all gone and you're in a bag. Now, I brought this one up because it actually gave a lot of opportunities to people that saw this big drop. I lost track of this one, but I should have bought, because you get an oversell like this, you're going to get a pop back to that middle band. Or if you don't get that, at least you're going to get some type of stability, and hopefully you get a dead cat bounce, which is exactly what this is. Now, for anybody involved, I want you to flag up here, okay? I want this to get up to this top band again. You did close above the middle band. Let's see what happens. But, you know, if you caught anything down here, I would highly advise to take your gain, your 100% gain off a very good trade, and reassess. So that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you learned a thing or two. Hopefully you don't want to kill me, but even if you do, I don't care, because I'm going to live my life and I'm going to tell the truth. And if I have a different opinion than you, then I go away, dude. I'm not here to hold your hand. I'm not here to make any friends. I'm here strictly to help people in the market, whether they want to listen to me or not. I'm going to give the wisdom that I've acquired over the past 7 years of day in and day out trading. It's not like I'm a seasoned vet of 40 years. I still have things to learn, but if there's a thing or two to know in the penny market, I know a few things, okay? I know what makes them go. I know what makes them fall. I don't trade perfectly. I take losses. I might not always be dead on. I might not always sell the top or buy the bottom. I might sell too soon. I might buy too fast. I might do this. I might do that. Nobody Nobody's a perfect trader, but I could tell you one thing. You get used to taking gains, you will have longevity in this game. You get used to taking gains, you will see your account steadily rise. You look back over the year and you say, damn, I did 1,000 trades, but I made $100,000 off of 1,000 trades instead of going one trade and making $1 million, because you keep that mindset, you keep that greed going on, you keep that pride going on, you keep that hope going on, you're going to be in trouble in a nick of time. Before you know it, at the drop of a dime. Until tomorrow, have a great night.